That is a word to think about. That is a word to think about. That is a phrase. Compared to what? That is a phrase that I have come across many of the time. Starting off the day in Poland and being in a big room to being in my last day in Poland in a very small room. At first, you think this looks really bad. Being Having your own bathroom, your own shower, pillows, blankets, and pretty much everything to now just being in a small room that's very small. It looks similar to a studio. At first, it doesn't seem good. And realistically, it's not the greatest. When you put it to a new perspective, though, this is great. Personally, for me, I did not pay much for this ho hostel or hotel, motel. This room is the better word to say, compared to the first room that I purchased when I first started in Poland. Given the situation I'm in as well, I'm only here for one more day, less than 24 hours before my flight back home. So I just wanted a place to stay, a place that has something safe to shower and sleep, to leave my stuff, to go out and explore, head home, sleep, take the train, go back home to the States. Whereas I first started in Poland, I knew I was going to be in the town for a few days before starting work. Obviously, I have a jersey, so you can say that the first night in Poland or the first 2 nights in Poland were great. It was worth the price that I paid. Compared to what? That is a phrase that I have come across many of the time. It reminded me of just being grateful for the small things and being in these two different rooms. They're in the beginning of Poland and now. This was a very cheap. It was not really inexpensive. It's more cheap. You pay you get what you pay for. And at the end of the day, I'm okay with having very minimum stuff because I'm not going to be in here long. I feel like I'm just here right now to let my phone charge as well as recording an episode. So having that mindset compared to what? This is great or this is terrible compared to what? Putting this in a lighter perspective, someone may say this space that I have at the moment is terrible. Compared to what? Compared to maybe sleeping outside, maybe sleeping at an airport, sleeping on the bus. This is a lot better than sleeping out in a foreign country. Now, of course, there are greater things to be sleeping in at the cost of literally finances. Is it worth, for me, was it worth paying more to be more comfortable? At the end of the day, I am okay with just enough just to get through whatever assignment or wherever I'm supposed to be at. Compared to what? This week of working at a foreign camp was one of the greatest experiences I've had in a while. And although it was a very short term assignment, I'd argue this was a great experience. Getting to meet all my friends that I now have. They may be in an episode, so stay tuned for that. Getting to network as well as learning history and just experiencing a new culture. Most of the times when I travel, such as Germany, Ireland, Colombia, and other countries, I learn a lot of history. And although I didn't learn too much history about Poland, I did feel a sense of culture, especially being in a country I'm not familiar with. This was a very spontaneous adventure. Not many people would want to go to Poland unless they have a specific attraction towards it. For example, the architect or the snow. For me, it's fun. Though it was not a bucket list. I remember when I went to Germany, that was a bucket list. Going to South America, that was a bucket list. Going to Ireland because of the cold weather as well as just learning about Irish history. That was on the bucket list. Poland was not on the bucket list. However, the opportunity lens, I'd argue it was worth the experience. It was worth traveling. And in the event you feel like when you're traveling or when you're adventuring somewhere, taking a trip, and things aren't going well, always ask the question, compared to what?